Hi everybody, welcome to the last page. We'll get this one definitely finished today. This spread, as it's called, for our art journal, and this one was fashion. I'm encouraged by the rumblings on the Miss Paintalot page and the Miss Paintalot acrylic, Miss Paintalot art group on Facebook. You seem to be really getting behind this one, and it's great because you can't go wrong. You just can't. No matter what you do, if you don't like it, paint over it. You know that. Be brave. Just be brave. And this is as far as we got with this one, which I really like. I mean, I love blue and orange together. They're complementary colours, and so they sing out together. I've got some lovely gold down this side for Dorothy, and I gave the butterflies a quick coat of gold as well, but I think they must have been wet when I put it on because it's just gold, that's all. But I'm going to put some details on them with my Posca pens. First thing I really must do, however, is give the left hand side a quick coat of transparent gesso, because that it's never been sealed, that, so it needs to be sealed. So this is my transparent gesso. So just needs a thinnish coat just to seal it, but not enough to hold us up in our pursuit of getting this sorted today. I don't know if you've seen Karen Smith's post on Miss Paintalot's art group. She's decided that she's not going to do a scrapbook per se, or an art journal in the form of a book. She's got a memory box of things that are precious to her, that make her feel good about herself, and she's going to use that and add to it, decorate the top of the box. And I think that is a fantastic idea. I really do. It means a lot to her. Poor love's not having the best of times at the moment, so hopefully that will, the doing of it, the process of doing it, will make her feel better, I hope. And then when she's got it done, hopefully she can pick the pages out, have a look at it, and it might make her feel a little bit better. And really, I'm not that far removed from that. It's nice to have things that you look at that just lift your spirits up a little bit, Oh, I remember when I did that, I really enjoyed it, etc., etc. Hiya, Karen, just talking about you. Hello, Sharon. That head, Sharon, it's unbelievable. It's on my Miss Acrylic. Oh, I'm obsessed with acrylic. Miss Paintalot's art group. Miss Paintalot's art group. It's not difficult. Come on. Anyway, right. So that's that transparent gesso. That's great. In the fullness of time, ladies, go in there. I just want to do something with these butterflies because they're just looking a bit sad for our page. So I'm using a Posca pen. Hello, Paula. Paula's doing a seahorse at the moment. If you haven't seen it, pop over to Fairy Chic Emporium. She did a video starting it. Well, she'd done the prep for it, but she was starting putting the colours in on Saturday night. It's amazing. It's just another wonderful piece. She has amazing abilities, the girl. Right, so this looks like it's working. I don't know if this colour is going to show up, but we'll see. I just want to put something in that makes these look a little bit butterfly-y, because they just look a bit sad with themselves. I'm not doing anything radical here, just sort of want to draw attention to them. I don't want them just fading into the background. So have any of you actually started your art journals? I know, Dorothy, you're You've sorted your napkins out for it. Very nice they are too. Dorothy's doing flying things. That's her topic. And when I looked at her decoupage napkins, I thought they were ladies, so I said to her, I don't know ladies flew. She said they're fairies, and fairies do fly. So, yeah, okay. They look really pretty anyway. So I'm just going to put some white dots in, relatively random. It's not like I'm just introducing this for the butterflies, because I've got white dots down this side part. So there we are. Well, they're standing out a bit more, which is actually all we need. Right, so I've had an idea. This is about fashion, which is sort of includes dressmaking, you know, drawing things out, blah, blah. So I've cut some bits of, it's just cotton calico, thin cotton calico here. And I'm going to safety pin them into our book, because that reminds me of fashion. You know, swatches of colour. We've got our lady here, might be discussing what colour we want to make this dress in, for example. So I found a kind of stash of goldy coloured safety pins. So that's what gave me the idea. And I think I can just about get in through this lace. Just about. Yeah, there we go. I just painted these with acrylic paint. That's all. I don't know if that safety pin's big enough. I've forgotten how safety pins work. I need to get them on there, don't I? And with that, oh, I'm going to have to put those together, I think. So now I spear them, don't I? If I'm looking fumble-fingered, it's because I feel it. This has got acrylic on it, and it's kind of tough. Okay. Yes, please. Thank you. In the meanwhile, I'll show you something that I unearthed the other day in the back room. I know everybody wants a back room like my back room, apart from me, because I want it to be tidy. It's this little box, little kind of bamboo box. And I remember buying it off eBay, I don't know, 3 years ago, something like that. And it was £10. Oh, lovely, thank you. Yeah, look, looky. There we are. So we've got that. Let's just push that back a little bit if we can. Yeah, that's it. So they're firmly held, and I think they add something to it. So I'll just delve in and show you what I've got.
Roberta Rice Willett says fun to watch you.
Thank you, Roberta. What a lovely name.
She's laughing already. Such fun.
I know, but you're not supposed to laugh at me. So you can see in here there is all manner of delights. I mean, there's just all manner. There's a blooming octopus, for heaven's sake. Who wants that? That's quite nice. Feather, really pretty. Sun. That, you know, it goes on. There's loads down here. A key with diamante on, anyone? It'd be nice if you were doing like a 21st birthday or something. Anyway, there's loads. That box is full. And I got to thinking, ooh, look at that. I got to thinking that I would never be able to use these in my art journal. Look at that. That reminds me of the hand that Mr. Fix-It's got when he's trying to point things out to me. See the similarity? Hello, big hand. Yeah, so I thought, well, I'll never be able to use these because really you need... Oh, Glory's off with his hand already. What's wrong?
They look well with that on them.
The Posca pens?
Yeah.
On these?
Colour them in, yeah.
All right. I'll have to give that a try. Yeah, so what I was saying was I can't use them in my art journal because some of them are just too fat. That's not too bad, actually, but, you know, like this one, for example. it's too fat. But you could use them on a straight up collage. You know, something that you actually want to hang on your wall, a real piece of art that's similar in technique to what we're doing with the art journal, but you know, on a canvas or something that you can actually put up and look at. So they're not going back in the back bedroom just now. They are staying around. And out of that box, I found some flat ones that I can use. So I laid them all out, saved me going through that blooming box every time I want to find something. So here we have it. This is what we've got in the very, very flat department. I don't know how much these are each, but I'd like to bet that the whole thing is, I've had a good deal for a tenner, that's what I'd say. So there we are, that's what we've got. We have a surfeit of butterflies. So I want to put one of these on here, and I think I've chosen that one because I think it fits that space quite well. The alternatives are something like a couple of butterflies. But I think we've got butterflies, we've done the butterflies. What's butterflies got to do with fashion? Well, what's a heart got to do with it either, for that matter?
Well, it does look like a necklace type.
Yeah, it's got a little hole there, so you could actually have I could have put a chain on that and put it there if I'd been slightly more organised. But you know me, I'm just not. And this Dorothy is gold coloured. But it looks a bit odd on its own. So I'm sticking with my heart, but for Dorothy and all other gold lovers, I've got the rub and buff out in gold. So I'm going to rub and buff this, put them back in there while I'm slightly organised.
Got the gold on the page.
Yeah, I've got the gold here, so it's just going to pick up on that. That's a nice pretty one, isn't it? Really pretty. Right, so I'll give them to Mr. Fix-It because I don't want to drop them on the floor because that would just be irritating. So the next thing to do, I think, is to glue the lady down. Now I've been having, I think I showed you this on my page earlier, I've just been messing around in my, well, I'll call it my personal art journal, because all I'm doing really is trying out ideas that I think we can implement on our art journal proper on this one. So, you know, it's not totally cohesive, this. It doesn't hang together brilliantly well. I like it, but I don't love it. But I've learnt some interesting things along the way. So I shall take the things that I've learned and introduce them to you. They're not earth-shattering, but they're interesting. Tomorrow, whenever we do another live. This lady here was off a piece of rice paper, but I didn't want to use the rice paper. I want every page of mine, if I can, to have something that I've painted on it. So that's the lady there, rice paper. I mean, she'll probably go in our art journal, but I wanted to paint her, so I did. So that's that one. And right, let's stick this on. I know I was talking about something, but I've forgotten, so it couldn't have been that important. I have learned, yes, that might have been it, that if you want to stick card or watercolour paper or something of heavier weight.
Olivia Harrison's just dropped by.
Hello, Olivia.
Lovely colours.
Which, the turquoise and orange?
I presume so, because this is going back a bit.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no, they're my favourites. It's a lovely combination. Lovely. Oh, come on. Yeah, I have learned in the on my alternative art journal that if you want watercolour card out like that to stick, you've got to use a glue gun. I've tried Prit. It didn't really work. So I'm using my glue gun. Right, there you go, my love. That's your home for a little while. Probably forever, so get used to it. I think I just need a little bit more under there. Don't you hate it when you're between glue sticks? like the world depends on it. It's not a do or die, guys. Right, okay. I'm kind of finished with that page, I think. I like her. I probably would have liked it more if that lace was either left the colour it was or is a darker blue, is what it is. Can't do much about it. Well, I could, if I have time, I will give it another coat blue, maybe. Right, I've never used rub and buff before. Mr. Fix-It usually does this stuff. So you just put a little bit on your fingertip, do you, and rub, and then you get a towel and you buff.
Rub and buff. The name's in the title.
It's a good clue, isn't it? Rub and buff.
It is.
You know, I end up with loads of stuff.
Any conversation.
No, we won't be dropping it into any conversation. I end up, because of Mr. Fix-It's proclivity for picking up anything. I mean, he's been at it today. We've been to our nearest town today, which is about 30 miles or so. It's that other one that needs to go on, please. That one. I had an appointment, and during my appointment, Mr. Fix-It ran round the whole of town doing all the charity shops, which is no mean feat, I can tell you. And he came back with nothing, so that was a bit of a waste of his energy. This doesn't want to come out. I'm going to have to poke it with something. Ah, dear me. Well, in the interim then, I'm just going to say to you, these are the words. I can put them in now, I think. Fashion changes, but style endures. What do you think, guys? Sums me up, doesn't it? I'd say. So I think they'll go there. Working? Thank you.
You don't need tons, like.
You don't need tons, okay. So get a wee bit out. For you rub and buff connoisseurs out there, I think this is called Grecian gold. And it's mostly for Dorothy. Well, who doesn't like a bit of gold, huh? Brightens your day. I might have too much on my finger here. It's a possibility. Yeah, I was going to say to you, this is what I set out to say to you blinking half an hour ago. Because of Mr. Fix-It's proclivity for arriving home with things I have never seen or heard tell of before, I've got a pile of mediums, not the people who tell the future, paint mediums, sitting outside in my hallway. And they've got weird and fanciful names, like Puff Paint. What's that all about then? I think, but I'm going to have to look it up obviously. I think it's that stuff that you put on and then you heat and it goes puffy. But how puffy it goes and how much you've got to heat it and stuff like that, I really don't know. So that's kind of what, the reason that I'm doing my art journal is so I can test out these things. And if they're an absolute disaster, well, they're a disaster, aren't they, they need never go near our posh art journal. I'm afraid of putting too much on my finger, so I'm using diddly amounts. Right, that looks nice. Looks lovely. So now I shall buff. Just crack the cap. Oh, for pity's sake.
You're not safe, let alone.
I'm not safe, let alone. Right, so this is buffing, isn't it? Might use that rub and buff again, actually, I quite like it. So that's going to go there, and I think that's going to look quite nice. Might have to break out the wet wipes. Oh gosh, I've got the lid in it.
Rub, buff and wipe.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't really want to come off. I'm going to have gold fingers for the rest of the evening. Oh, heaven's sake. I just hope it doesn't come off on something it's not supposed to on our journal. Well, that's the best I can do. See what happens. I think that's another one for the. Oh yeah, it's nearly off now. The buffing worked. Another candidate for our glue gun. That one. So I'm just gonna. I don't think it needs too much. So there it goes. There, let's see. That looks straight. Oops. Yeah, okay. Let's see if that sticks. It should stick, I think. Right, now on to our letters. Wording, even. Because it's not an art journal page without this. This is the thing that makes it into an art journal. Right. This is another Mr. Fix-It find. It's all these things. They're like teardrops. And they're called Brilliance. Brilliance Dewdrop by Sukineko. Can't fault my Japanese, can you? So I don't know if they're waterproof. I don't know anything about them, but I think we need a colour sort of over our words a little bit. So I'm just going to give it a try. What shall I go for? Toffee Crunch? Toffee Crunch or Pearlescent Rust? I'm going for Toffee Crunch. It looks a bit less fierce. This is probably never the way you're supposed to use these, but never mind. Oh yeah, I like that. I like it. Oh, that's got a big blob in the middle. It doesn't matter though, you know. It really, really doesn't matter. That's great. I might even put some more on it. Lovely. If you've got the right equipment, lucky you. I that's what I've got. So that's what I have used. Right, then. I think that's stuck okay. That's okay. She's okay. We're doing all right. So we need this on. Let's put some Prit on the back. Prit's really good for sticking paper. You know, I know you can buy fancy stuff and whatever, but Prit really is good for paper. So I think about there. think I can probably turn my glue gun off. Oh, no, I don't need it for anything else, do I? No. I'll just turn it off because it's just like, oh, it's got an on-off switch on the handle. How convenient.
Learn.
I was just getting ready to go diving down to the extension. So if you didn't want to do it the way I've done it, and you didn't want to paint the lady, find some magazines, even the supplements from the Sundays or whatever, and there is absolutely bound to be a woman wearing a frock. Even if it is Victoria Beckham or someone. You always chop her head off if you want. And on the picture, not in real life. And stick her there. You know, it doesn't have to be something you've painted. Although I do think it's nice to stretch yourselves.
Where you're sitting at the moment, it's your head on the dress.
Oh yeah, look at the diet has worked. So that's about the same. That, yeah. Oh. It does look like I've gone a bit overboard with the ink on the screen. Actually, I quite like it in real life. It's not sort of glaring at you like they sometimes can. Right, so where are we up to now? I'm not overly keen on this transition here between the blue and the orange. It doesn't sit right with me. And I know it doesn't sit right with a lot of you because you wanted me to leave that negative space. By the time I got your messages, I'd already done it. So I'm just going to use an Inktense pencil. Just give it a try and see if I can just soften that edge a wee bit. I think it might be better trying blue. So I'm just going to draw, or colour in really. You're colouring in around the edge. Is Susan with us, Susan Hall?
I don't believe I've seen them.
She's been having a horrible time as well. Honestly, you lot, what you like. Right, so I'm just going to use one of my water brushes. That's a bit thin, that one. I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to drag that blue up there if it wants to go. Oh, it does a bit, so that's all right. I just want to get away from that really, really harsh line that we had. Sometimes your finger is the best, folks. Right, yeah, that sits with me slightly better now than it did before. Okay. Pretty much done. Pretty much done. I like it. I like it a lot. I love the addition of the fabric. I like the words.
Susan says she is.
Hello, Susan. I've been thinking about you. Right, so that's that. So now we can move on to the next one. So it's basically, once again, what we're doing is building up texture. And it really... Can you guys tell me what you want? I've forgotten all the titles that I had. Can you just write down what you'd like the spread to be about? If you say flowers, you're probably onto a winner. Yeah, okay. No, I was going to do this one, wasn't I? Wasn't I going to do this lady? Yeah, I think I was, actually. That's right, that's why I spent ages doing my... Oh, come on, for heaven's sake. Keep up, girl. So we're looking for browns and peaches. Most of it's going to get covered up. It's probably a bit too in your face. There's some nice little bits on there. I know you're wondering why to go to all the fuss of putting stuff on the base and then you're going to cover it all up. But it's there, you know, if you want to not cover it all up, you've got it there. It's just kind of part of the plan. It's what happens. Right, I know this is the wrong colour, but there's a nice bit in there, isn't there? I'll leave that out on the top of the box. Coakley. Right, so to get some texture, what we're going to do, well...
Last week wasn't so good, but she's better today, though she sprained her wrist falling down a rabbit hole on a walk this morning.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You know, when it's not... When you're having a bad time, it just never stops. Right, this stuff here is called plasterboard and drywall tape. No idea what you're actually supposed to do with it in the real world, but for us, it's brilliant. It's texture on a roll, and it's self-adhesive, which is brilliant. So you just roll it off. That's a sticky end on there, which I'm not overly keen on. If we can get this background put in today, which I'm pretty sure we will, then we're looking good for the next live, whenever that is. So just put this on wherever you want it, wherever you think you might like the texture. I'm going to cut that off at an angle. And I think along there. I'm going to cut that off at the opposite angle. Okay, so I think I'll ask him when he comes back. He's just nipped out. Was this from the pound shop?
Yes.
Haha. So our famous... Honestly, we'll be having coach parties coming to our pound shop.
Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, it's only open Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So, you know, if you're planning a coach party, make sure it's one of those days. Let's have a look and see if we've got any of our dyed napkins. Oh, they're quite interesting, aren't they? There's that one. Oh, there's some edges here that have torn off something else. Ooh. What happened? Did I catch it?
No, I kicked it.
Oh, you kicked it. Oh, fair enough. That gives a really nice texture. Yeah. This is, you know, this is free rein to rummage. Rummage till your heart's content, till you find whatever you think you might need. There's the napkin that I definitely do need. Okay, right. So I've got all sorts of bits and pieces here. These edges came off the lady, but they're quite nice, aren't they? It's rice paper, so they give a lovely edge. Might save them for the next part because I don't want to cover them up. They're too nice. Too nice. Ooh, what was that? This is paper that I found in that load of stuff that Mr. Fixit got from the auction, and it's got real texture to it. So I'm just going to use some of that. Let's rip that. Stick it down with a bit of Mod Podge. This is just making the background interesting. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. We can put gesso all over it if we want to, and start building our mediums, colours, anything else that we want to go on our page. But we've got a good texture to fall back onto, and it will inform everything from here on. But it's a very kind of free-spirited thing. Do what you want. You can't go wrong, honestly. And it doesn't even matter if it's not the right colour for you or anything. That is the least of your worries. I always try and get things that are the same colour, and I don't know why really, because I invariably end up painting over, or doing something over the entire background. So I don't know why I try so hard to. No, don't count on that. Diane, I'm really sorry. When you messaged me last night, I was having my tea, and I said to you, as soon as I finish my tea, I'll go and tag you in the posts for the art journal. So as soon as I had my tea, that's not sticking. I went to there was only 2 videos, so I went to them and I tagged you in, except it wasn't you. I've got the wrong name. I tagged in Diane. I can't remember her name now. Gingrich. When you see it, she's around a fair bit. So she will now be wondering why in heaven's name I was telling her that this was Friday's and this was Saturday's video. So I'm sorry, Diane. I thought I'd done it. Hopefully you'll have found them. This is only really the 3rd one that we've done, isn't it? 3rd? Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and today. I think the day before I might have been warbling on about it a bit, but there was no actual action. So I'm just looking for something else that might have a bit of texture. Let's fall back on our crumpled up tissue, because they always give us a bit of nice texture. So this is just tissue paper for those of you who haven't been here, following us from the beginning. It's just tissue paper, blank, ordinary serviettes that you can buy. These ones I think were from Sainsbury's. Anywhere at all that you can get blank napkins. And we dyed them. Actually, what we used was Brusho, but you don't have, whatever. The insides out of felt tip pens, acrylic paint, anything, just dye them. Tea bags are great. Tea bags give a lovely colour. In fact, really, if you drink tea, you should be saving your tea bags. That's a good thing to have in your box of bits, because it is a lovely colour. If you've put milk in, don't save it, right? Because just don't. That's all I can say. So this will give us some really, really nice texture to build up on. And you can work it out if you want to, you can say, oh, well, the lady's going there, so I don't want this there or whatever. I don't work like that. And I'd encourage you not to work like that either. It works better when it's totally just instantaneous. Just, you just...
He says, why do we have to have texture?
Well, it adds interest, Dorothy. Like, if that was just a flat page, which it could be to your art journal, then it wouldn't have any of the depth. I don't know if you can see here, that's a crumpled up tissue like I'm doing now. This is the tape, the drywall tape. This is a raised stencil, the diamonds, and down here. It just gives it, look at that bit there, it's got lovely texture in it. And the other page that I did, it's hard to describe it to you, but it's just lovely. It's just full of texture. You know, these circles here I did in moulding paste, so they're up. You know, we've got interest in the background that you wouldn't have if you just painted it straight on. But like I'm saying, it's your art journal, so if you want to paint straight on, not worry about the texture, just do that. I bet Dorothy asked that question. I bet she knows, really. But no, you're right. I mean, it is your art journal. You do with it what you want to do with it. And if texture isn't your thing, just don't include any texture. But most art journals that you see will have texture in, because it's part of the process, really. So this is Mod Podge that I'm using here. If you haven't got any Mod Podge, then PVA glue watered down will do. You know, school glue is really pretty much what we're doing. This Mod Podge is just a bit on the thick side. I must water some down and put it in a pot with a lid on. Okay, that's come out nicely. I'm just going to add another bit.
She just had an idea, but she didn't know if it would work dripping on some candle wax.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
It's sort of the last process, wouldn't it, I guess?
Well, it could be the second last if you want to paint over it, because the wax from the candle will act as what's called a resist, in as much as you can't get anything to stick to it. So if you drip it on before you paint your colour on, you'll still see the candle wax. So it could be a really nice effect. But you will have to remember that, you know, it is a resist. It won't take any colour at all.
You can do the same by melting crayons, of course.
Yeah, we've done that before, haven't we? We've just
Pound shop.
Yeah, pound shop. I mean, this from the pound shop's worth it because it's got this lovely little pouchy thing with it. But this from the pound shop, 40 crayons, and they're all different colours. Yes, you can melt them onto your background or your foreground, no problem. Just remember, I mean, with the colour, it's great because you've got a colour. But if you're using the sort of white household candles, that's it. You can't get any more on over it. But no, I mean, you know, like I say, I mean, you know, you're really coming up with some good ideas, Karen. Sorry?
You can move it around with an iron or one of those.
Yeah.
Opt tools.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily recommend taking your iron.
Well, not your domestic iron.
Or any full strength iron. A travel iron you'd be all right with.
I was thinking of the encaustic iron.
Yeah, I know what you were thinking of, but you know. Right, okay, so what else do I need on here? I quite like these colours. This was me just rollering my brayer off to get these colours. This was just a spare bit of paper that I was cleaning my brayer on, and it turned out that actually I liked it a lot better than some of the jelly rolling we were doing, jelly plate printing. I mean, that is lush. Lush. Actually, I'll tell you what else works instead of Mod Podge, if you haven't got any, is Very Chic matte finish. It works great, and it's darn sight cheaper than Mod Podge. Could you just get that bottle that's out in the hallway of the finish? What do you call it?
The thing that you just mentioned.
Yeah. If you're going round a crease, make sure that you crease it, because, yeah, this here, Paula's Very Chic matte finish. You know, it comes in a, whatever that is, 500ml it looks like, and it's $11.95. So it's darn sight cheaper than Mod Podge, and it does the same job. Thank you very much. Right, okay. What did I tell you before about sticking card down on heavier papers? Mod Podge doesn't want to do it. I've switched me thingy off, so I'll have to switch that on again. Yeah, Pritt Stick might work, you're right. I mean, there's always, when you're doing this thought of, well, why am I doing this? Because I'm going to paint over it. But you might not just paint over that bit. It might be showing. I think that Pritt Stick's worked. It'll get sort of gessoed anyway in the near future. I'll Pritt Stick this. This is just kind of the prep work, really. But do it in any which way that you want. Let's put that over there. Include what you want. You know, Dorothy, if you don't want texture, just put a piece of paper down or paint it. I've got the most gorgeous piece of paper ever. I'm really, really loath to use it. So where's that lovely bit of paper? You'll know it when you see it. It's beautiful. Look at that. I don't know which way is up. That way, probably. Yeah, that way. I mean, that's just a page. What more could you do to that? But I'd have to do something because it doesn't fit my art journal. So that might very well be the next one, in which case there won't hardly be any texture at all to it. Although there's glitter on there, which is raised up. But I mean, that's just so beautiful. So with that, I wouldn't say do anything with it. It's really, really pretty. But you would have to do something on the rest of the page. Put that down the middle and do something. But that may well be our next one, because it's just... I've got to use it sometime. I've had it for ages. I've looked at it so many times for so many projects. But I think I'm going to call that done. I think we're okay now. I think we'd just be adding texture for the sake of it. Could you unscrew my gesso, please? No, yeah. Same thing with fabric paints and whatever. If you want to use fabric paints, that's fine. You know, paper is a form of fabric, so don't feel you can't use them on this because it says fabric. We got some PBO Harvest Moon paint, which we painted onto that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's super shiny. So that may be making an entrance one of these fine days. So basically, I'm going to gesso in around, just try and bring it together a little bit and prepare it for the next lot of colouring and inking, whatever, you know, needs. You need to make sure that your page is up to it. Oh, what did you do with that? Oh, this is textile paint, which I've had seriously for 12 years. It's called Stoffmalfarben. My German's nearly as good as my Japanese. But look at that. Can you see that? That's gorgeous. That's Mr. Fix-It just messing around. He does this sort of thing and then he comes in with something that's gorgeous. So you can see now, I hope you can, the detail that we put in with the wall thingy, tape stuff. So some of this, I need to gesso it all basically, but some I'm going to gesso in my transparent gesso, so I don't lose all of my background. I might lose it all before we finish, who knows.
She put gold on it, LOL.
There will be gold going on this, there definitely will, Dorothy, but as I say up here, had you wished, and we'll get round to the gold nearer the end. It's funny actually, because different gessos are different colours. This one's really white, it's a golden one, and it's really expensive, and it's too good to be doing this with, really. Because any gesso from the works or anywhere like that is perfectly adequate for this type of job. And if I lived near the works, I'd go and get some. I could have a day trip, I suppose. But it is.
What, Gretna?
Yeah, there's one at Gretna.
You wanted to elope? I'll pay your bus fare.
Thanks. Thank you. That's so nice of you. So really, there's not a lot of. See the way this paper. See what happens to it when you put colour on. It sort of sits on the top of it, which is lovely, and beckons to me. Paint me, paint me. Just beginning to see this first lot of texture coming through.
She's got a load of foils in a nail art trolley, so they work quite well.
Yeah, they would. Actually, this morning I came across a piece of, I think it's Artisan Enhancements, I think. Fiona Foster from Tallulah Ravens Interiors gave it to me to mess around with. So that should fulfill Dorothy's need, I think. I put it in the top drawer because I thought I know I'll be using that, because Dorothy will only mither on if I don't. That's what I thought. Right, so I think we're pretty much there. Just need a little bit of transparent gesso. I'm going to try and make this really shiny and groovy. I've no idea what the topic is yet. Nobody's said anything, have they? Has anybody suggested a topic? No.
Well, you were doing the lady, you said.
Oh, yes. What's wrong with me?
I don't think we have enough time today. Join us for a special tomorrow on the things that are wrong with Miss Paintalot.
Hey, that's just mean. That's just mean. My biggest problem, I think, one of my biggest problems, let's put it that way, is my memory. My memory's gone to heck in a handcart. It's really, really bad. I mean, I know that by the time you get to my age, which is almost 60, you go into the kitchen and you can't remember what you went in there for. That's fine. I'm willing to, concede that just happens. But I forget other stuff. I forget whole conversations I've had with Mr. Fix-It. It's getting quite bad now, to be honest. I don't know why I'm laughing, because it is getting quite bad. I keep thinking, I'm all right, but that's because I've forgotten that I'm not all right. So I'm just using transparent here. It'll mix a bit with the white, but it'll still give us something showing through. Where are we? 5:57? You're joking. Right, so we're all gessoed. We're ready for whatever I feel inclined to throw at this. We're so organised here. I don't even know when the next live is. Unless I've had this discussion and forgotten about it, of course, which is always possible. Should we do a live tomorrow?
That'll be Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah. Because when does the Ashes start again? Wednesday? Thursday?
Thursday, I think.
Right, I think it's best then to get the lives in when the Ashes aren't on. So tomorrow, at 4 or 5? 4. 4?
4.
Right, ladies and gents, tomorrow at 4 we'll be doing a live.
Unless people prefer 5.
Yeah, unless you prefer 5, let us know. You can see we've made a crackingly good start here, I think, to our art journal page, which is going to be this beautiful doll here. I don't know where she's going to go, I'm sure, but she will speak to us and she'll let us know. And I've got these lovely edges here. So you can see, I think we're shaping up for quite a sort of vintagey, shabby chic type look, which doesn't surprise me. I really love shabby chic. I wasn't so keen on it when it was in fashion, to be honest, but it's sort of grown on me since, and I do like a bit of shabby in my life. So I think this is shaping up for that. Let me just, before I go, show you this piece of paper and make you all really jealous one more time. It's a bit of card, actually. How gorgeous is that? Don't you all wish that you owned it? But I do.
And Dorothy says she's never used transparent gesso. Do you recommend it?
Yeah, I do.
For this?
For this. Yeah, for this. If I was gessoing a canvas to do a painting on, I'd use this because it's golden, really. But I like the texture of the white one. It's got more about it. The transparent one feels a bit weaker somehow. But for this, when you want to leave things showing through, but you need them to be protected because you're going to be throwing some more stuff at it, the transparent gesso is great. This one I would show you if it had the lid on, but it hasn't. It's got a clear thing in it first. This is the one I've got is massive.
These are the wrong lids.
Oh yeah, wrong lid, guys. I mean, they make gesso by putting things into white acrylic paint, like talcum powder, that sort of thing. And so I don't know, I struggle somehow to see how they have actually managed to make proper gesso that's clear, because like I said, this gesso, this golden gesso, it's titanium white paint with something in to give it a bit of tooth. This, it's just transparent. I mean, you know, I don't understand. I don't understand how it works, but it does work. And you probably don't need a tub as big as this, just a 1 litre tub. But yeah, I would recommend it. I don't know if I'd make it top of my. Oh, I must do that to make an art journal book. Stick with the white until such times as you think, oh damn, I wish I had transparent. Right, so tomorrow then I'm gonna use some of these and possibly those 3 colours there. I'm going to be using Our Lady, these boundaries, borders, whatever you call them. They're going to come into play, and other things. You know all my other things that I have, so I will find something that's really juicy. I'll just show you, before I go, some stencils that Mr. Fix-It came downstairs with a little while ago. I am so spoiled. I mean, I really am. He brought me this one. My desk is so dirty, you can actually see that.
That's very nice, actually.
It does, yeah. So it's flowers, you know, yes, I love flowers. And this one. And this beautiful sort of Macintosh Art Nouveau rose. Can you see that? So they're new and they need playing with. So they may make an entrance tomorrow. So let's. I wish I had a sheet of glassine, but I haven't. So. Oh, my heart's come off.
More glue.
More glue, Vicar. Well, that's it anyway. I mean, it looks the same whether it's stuck down or not. So that's our page, our spread for our very first art journal. I absolutely cannot wait to see what you come up with. I really can't. But be fearless. Crack on. If you don't like it, paint it again. Or stick something over it, whatever. Anyway, that's that. I'll stick our little heart down again because I like him. Fashion changes, but style endures. So there we are. And then now we've got this, which I'm pretty sure is going to be relatively shabby chic. We'll have to join in tomorrow at 4, and we'll see where it goes. Thank you once again for joining me. It would be pretty dead show if nobody joined, wouldn't it, really? I'm really enjoying this art journaling. I really hope that you are too and that you're having a go at it. And I'll see you tomorrow at 4. Thank you very, very much. Bye.